So we spent a week in Aruba, and I give Aruba an A+. Would I ever go back? You bet I would. On this episode, I want to touch a little bit on the food, the nightlife, and the excursions. I've only been in Aruba for a week, so I can't claim to be an expert, and things change. So if you're watching this later, like a month from now, a year from now, or a few days from now, just take this video as a second or third opinion if you're going to Aruba. Nothing I say is facts, it's just my opinion. Alright, let's get to the food! Sometimes the food is your best friend. In Aruba, I ate all kinds of delicious foods, but the four most popular ones were stabach, pastichi, queshiena, and soupis, which means soups. Of course, with a nation of 90 different nationalities, there are obviously more types of food and more plates, but I'm going to focus on these four. So number one, stabach, I hope I'm saying that right, which means stews. This is a hot comfort food in Aruba, enjoyed by Arubans despite the tropical climate. It's typically made with beef or goat at its base, and then filled with rice and other things that make it so tasty. You can get full off of it and still keep eating. That's why it's considered a comfort food, because you'll keep eating way past your hunger is gone. You also have conch stew that's very popular. Number two, pastichis. These are deep fried pasta pockets stuffed with all kinds of goodies. Typically you'll find cheese, ham, beef, chicken, or tuna inside, but sometimes, like I did, you can find some chopped Chinese food type fillings, and things obviously, like I said, to the Chinese culture that's on the island. Pastichis actually remind me of Haitian patties. Haitian patties are a bit less formal, but that kind of is the same concept. The same outer layer, and they're kind of used differently. So in Aruba, the pastichis, you can find them on a dinner plate. Even at a restaurant, you can order some. Versus in Haiti, this food is just considered for the streets. You buy them on the streets where you won't find it for dinner. And in both countries, you can request it spicy or not spicy. Number three is queshiena. Often called Aruba's national dish, this comfort food casserole was born out of necessity, since it was created entirely of leftovers baked into a hollow pot. It's mostly meat-filled, but sometimes it's stuffed only with seafood. Super delicious. And number four, as top foods to try in Aruba, is soup. Arubans are big on hearty soups, especially fish soup, which will depend on the catch of the day. That'll be the base of the soup. I think of all the four that I'm talking about today, the soups are my favorite. Yambo is the name of their style of gumbo, which features okra and gives a slippery, stingy texture. And people down there call it slimy soup because it's kind of like stringy and slippery. But don't worry, it tastes way better than it sounds. So if I was to give my assessment, honestly, Colombian soup is still number one for me. But Asian soup is right there, or a tie. And Arubans have more variety, so maybe they're like right up there too. So now that we have spoken about food, your stomachs are full, now it's time to party. I'm excited to talk about the nightlife. My honest assessment of the nightlife in Aruba is that it feels like a cruise stop. It's not Miami, it's not New Orleans, it's not Las Vegas nights. It's Aruba. It's a little bit less intense, and I do have the feeling that if I spent a few days in Aruba, I would have seen all the hot spots in just a few days. I actually just spent 7 years in a marriage where we never went out. I couldn't make friends. Not ideal for someone like me who loves people. And my opinion of a great night might be different than other people's opinion. So I'm gonna rate Aruba on how I like to rate great nights. A great night for me is if I meet cool people. Got some phone numbers to text later and reconnect at a later time. A lot of my closest friends I have today, I met years ago in a club, bar, or party. And the thing, I don't even drink alcohol, I never have. I love music, but what's the point of great music if you have no one to dance with? I love flirting and making people laugh. So obviously I like talking to the ladies. And if I meet someone that's up to something in life, I love to support. Out of going out, I've met business partners and collaborated with people on other projects. So going out for me is how to make new friends. So when I say I had a great night, I'm not rating the music, I'm not rating the food or the drinks. I'm literally rating how many people I met. And if I see them again, then that was a great night. When I spend a day out and leave the club not making any new friends with no numbers, I feel like I left empty pocket. To me, it's all about the people. I'm just chilling here in Aruba, right? And I hadn't had a chance to read this book. I've had it for a while. And I pick it up, I finally get my chance. And the first, basically, chapter, the first thing says, no one else can live your life for you. No one else can be successful for you. I highly recommend y'all getting this book. It is awesome. Because at the end of the day, only you can live your life for you. No one's gonna replace you when you're gone. They're gonna live their own lives. So if you're putting something off and you're thinking about sacrificing your life for something else, don't, because nobody can live your life for you, okay? All right, just take that with you. When I travel, I like to find locals to party with, make new friends, so when I come back, I can be greeted by a familiar face. But in Aruba, it seems like 80% of the people out here are tourists just like us. I still managed to make a few friends from Aruba, but I had to be real intentional about it. I met Cecile, who was a cashier in a nearby grocery store. She introduced me to Sandra, who came over and introduced us to another friend. They hung out with us for a while. I met Catalina, originally from the Dominican Republic. She came over a few times while we were there. During our week stay, she offered to drive us to the airport. Catalina was so nice, my cousin let her have her expensive, nice heels. And at the end, all the food we bought for that week, she got all of them. It was a real blessing for her and her family. I met Jose. He took us to do excursions and introduced us to Wally. Super cool guy we met at the Rocks. One of the nights, my cousins didn't want to go out, so I went out alone. I saw two girls walking down the street, so I just approached them. Asked them, where should I go? They stopped going where they were going. They turned around. They took me to their garden. They offered to take me somewhere, wherever I wanted to go. I said, I don't know where to go. They said, we got you. We went in their car and they drove me to a nice spot, a few spots. I mean, the people were so nice and generous. I would have missed out on all this fun if I was too afraid to talk to strangers. I also made friends with a few taxi drivers and other people who work on the beach. People say I'm too trusting, but I've learned that trust is a gift that I give myself, so I don't have to worry and I can have more fun. And up until now, I haven't had any problems with trusting people. Trusting in God helps as well. This is Dan. While I'm enjoying my nice paradise and Aruba, I want to remind you guys that life is about winning. When I say winning, that means getting that one thing that you want, or whatever it is that you want. It could be a little thing or it's a big thing, but whenever your intention is and you get that thing, you're winning. And one little tip I'm going to give you today about winning is to focus on the coming together versus the falling apart. So when things go bad, when things are difficult, don't focus on what isn't working. Focus on the coming together. What is going to make this all come together? Just focus on that part, not on what's falling apart. The more you focus on what's falling apart, the more it will fall apart. Focus on, okay, what do I need to do so I can win? Because winning is important. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. During our vacation in Aruba, I haven't had time to work at all. Too much fun. But I know that's part of the deal. If I can't work on vacation, that means my vacation will be cut short. You have to find a way to work while you're having fun so the fun can last longer. Lucky for me, a good friend and coach who helped me start my coaching business invited me to come to the Dominican Republic to assist with doing a retreat she had planned. It's a favor I owe her. She asked me to come help her for 1 week. So now the Dominican Republic is on my list of stops. It's true, God just opened doors when you have your mind made up. If doors aren't opening for you, it's possibly because your mind isn't fully made up and the universe is confused. But before I go to the Dominican Republic, I want to check out Costa Rica with my cousins. But before I leave Aruba, I want to talk about the excursions. In Aruba, you don't just eat and party. You do all kind of fun things too. We did a boat party. We did off-roading. We went to visit these ancient caves. We had a fish pedicure. We went to the rocks. You'll see what that is later. And we visited a little beach. We did jet skiing. We did a banana ride. All kind of fun things. I wanted to cover all of this in this episode. But I think we'll be best served if we wait till the next episode to cover just the excursions of Aruba. I didn't realize we were going to have this much fun. So I'm going to dedicate a whole episode just to the excursions of Aruba. This wraps up episode 4. We spoke about the food, the nightlife, the people. And always remember that no one can live your life for you. Only you can do that. So dream big and work hard. I'll see you on episode 5.